Hey guys, how you all doing today? So I'm actually going to bring to you a story read by a human, i.e. me. I hope you're enjoying these tales from tech support, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more stories. Enjoy your story, guys. This story is brought to you by Mythics. Broken airplane, low-ranking know-nothing airman perform 50-cent wiring repair after months of airplane being in no-fly condition. Long TIDR at the end. I have always wanted to tell this tale here about how myself, a 19-year-old electronics tech and a 19-year-old airframe specialist, repaired an aircraft that had cost the division tens of thousands of dollars and 1,000+ man-hours to not repair. We were exceptionally proud of ourselves. Set the scene, 1980s, overseas naval air station, small division. We flew C-12s and C-131s aircraft. The C-131 was a 1950s airframe with reciprocating engines. It was a workhorse, pretty basic but also damn reliable. Of the C-131s, we had 3 of them. They were basically a cargo craft with the ability to carry up to 48 passengers. We had one that had been converted to a VIP aircraft and was really pretty inside. However, when the conversion was performed, the attention to detail ended at cosmetics. During various repairs, we had found that they had uses household extension cords for wiring in some places. Cue the WTF look for electricians everywhere. Inside, the aircraft had couches, a full kitchen, the whole works. They even installed household panelling. Very important later. On to the problem. The aircraft was equipped with 2 VHF radios for communications, both of which had to be operating in order for the airplane to be in the up status. In the military, an aircraft is up or down for flight status. 962, tail number of aircraft in question, had been having issues with the VHF-1 radio that would come and go. Then one day, for reasons unknown, it simply stopped working. Many hours were put in to get the aircraft up. They changed radios multiple times. Since I was semi-new from electronics and radio operator school, I was not deemed worthy for helping to troubleshoot, and most times we were set about to clean aircraft or do maintenance checks. At the time, I was also flight crew on these same birds, so while yes, I was new, I was still very familiar with them nonetheless. It was finally determined by the senior technicians that every time the aircraft was powered up and avionics were powered on the VHF-1 radio, would immediately go into transmit mode. Nothing was being transmitted except static. The attempted solutions. As previously stated, they changed the radio multiple times. Then they changed the wiring harness for the radio. Then they changed the entire radio pack for all the radios. Needless to say, none of this worked. They had spent weeks on these repairs and nothing was working. Finally, it was determined that the issue had to be in the cockpit. Every wire was traced, and they finally determined the only way to fix the issue was to remove and replace the entire cockpit dashboard instrument cluster. This was no small feat. The airplane sat till the new dashboards arrived. They replaced both sides, pilot and co-pilot. Surely this would fix it, right? The replacement took days. I can still see other technicians crawling around little tiny places getting cuts on their hands from trying to get to the wiring that for all intents and purposes was not designed to ever needing to be replaced. Technicians were brought from the upper levels, the guys that would actually repair the electronics internally. Everyone was in on this, everyone except us lowly airmen. We would run tools and stuff, but that was the extent of our involvement. New dashboards installed. Now for the moment of truth. Power on, avionics on, radio starts transmitting. No! You could feel the dejection of the assembled masses. What could it be? All hope was lost. Weeks the airplane sat. Nobody wanted to go near it. Surely if we ignore it, the problem will just go away, right? Cue the lowly airman. One bright and beautiful day, there was almost no work to be done. Aircraft were flying and not much going on. Myself and Airman Barb were sat to clean the down airplane. When I say clean, I mean detailing. We were given small brushes, think toothbrushes, and instructed to scrub the avionics panels in the cockpit. This was donkey work, but really there was not much else to do, so we happily complied. We were best buddies anyway. Pretty soon the cockpit was sparkling and we did not want to go inside and tell anyone, since they would just give us some more crappy work. So we just hung out in the airplane and talked. To this day, I'm not sure what got into me, but the wiring diagrams were laid out in the airplane's galley and Barb and I started having a look-see. Remember, I was flight crew on these planes and knew them very well. Anyways, I started looking at the wiring diagrams and noticed that in the galley where we were lying on the floor, there was a missing microphone jack. Yeah, you know where this is going. The more I thought about the anomaly, the odder it seemed. I looked everywhere. It was supposed to be on the wall above the coffee maker. Surely they would not have simply panelled over it, would they? Nah. Now, as strange as it seems, this is exactly what they have done. This microphone jack was mounted on the side of the electronics bay that dozens of people had been in and out of for the last few months. When Barb and I located the jack, the first thing we noted was that it was green with corrosion. Surely it could not be this simple. After all the best minds on the base had been struggling for months with this, well, a quick squirt of Freon and a little brush took care of all of that green. As a radio operator, I was fully qualified to power everything up and run avionics checks. Yeah, you guessed it. Radio worked perfectly. We were two very excited airmen, but how to handle it? Since we were performing maintenance, we had all the paperwork with us, including an original complaint. It was decided we signed off the repair with exactly what we had done and headed for the maintenance desk. Entering the office, I simply went up to the counter and, as casually as a very excited young airman could, simply stated, 962 is up. You could have heard a effing pin drop. The entire place just went dead quiet. Senior Chief just looked at me and asked what I meant. I just repeated, 962 is up. I then headed off to the shop. I do not clearly remember the whole aftermath, but it was pretty frustrating for everyone concerned. Barb and I were never really applauded for what we did, but we were pretty proud. I think acknowledging us would have looked pretty bad, since everyone would know that all these senior technicians from all the different divisions and all that money wasted was all in vain. So a lesson to everyone, always start with a kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. TLDR, two lowly Navy airmen repair plane that had been broken for months with toothbrush and anti-corrosion spray. I hope you enjoyed that cracking story, and there'll be more human red stories to come in the coming days. Please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more stories. Guys, we'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye now.